Hey guys, we are going to be doing some pantry dinners. I need to get rid of all the stuff in my pantry. So today we are going to be knocking out some pantry items and just kind of clear out my pantry, make some dinners, not wanting to go to the store at all. So here is some pantry dinners for you. I think I have an idea for tonight's. I think I'm going to do some creamy tacos. So I'm going to need these chips here. And then I will need a can of corn. I'll need some Rotels. I need some other stuff that's in one of my other pantries. I'm trying to think here. Yep, so I'm going to make some creamy tacos tonight. I think one of my meals I'm going to do some Tuna Helper, probably like on a Wednesday night, so it's super easy. That sounds like good, where I can just add some vegetables I have in my freezer. So I'll probably do that. I have like a hamburger helper thing in here that I have not used in forever. Hopefully it's not expired. But I need to eat up those hamburger helpers. Hamburger helper is like my husband's like worst nightmare. So I just need to eat them up and never buy them again. But they're super easy, especially when we're kind of in a hurry. I think another night I'm going to do some sloppy joes. So I have some sloppy joe mix in one of my other pantries that I'll show you. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it for in here. So I'm going to go grab the other stuff in my other pantry. And we're going to cook up some dinners here. Alright, for my creamy tacos, I'm going to grab some cheddar cheese soup. I'm going to grab, let me think here. I guess some chili beans would be pretty good in it. I need some Rotels. Usually I like to cook with the pinto beans or like the western style beans, but chili beans will probably be okay. And then I will need some ground beef, and that's it. Alright, here's all the ingredients we're going to need for this meal. Chili beans, cheddar cheese soup, 1 pound of ground beef, some Rotels, corn, and some taco seasoning. And then I have some tortillas on the table there that we will crush into this meal after it's all done. So I'll show you how we're going to assemble it in just a minute. Let me show you how we're going to make it first. To my pan here, I'm going to go ahead and cook up my ground beef. Just want to go ahead and get it all cooked through, and then I'm going to go ahead and drain off any excess grease. These type of meats, they since they're from like a local butcher, they really don't produce a whole lot of grease, which is really nice. So most of the time I don't actually drain the grease. It kind of depends on how much is in the pan, but usually there's not a whole lot in the pan, thankfully. But in this case scenario, I'm going to go ahead and drain off any excess grease. And then I'm going to go ahead and put the meat right on back. Alright, I'm going to use some of this taco seasoning. There we go. That looks about right. You want about 1 ounce of taco seasoning. Next, we're going to add in our cheddar soup. Usually I do like nacho cheese or cheddar cheese, something like that. You could even use queso if you don't want to use this. You can use homemade queso, whichever you prefer, just some type of cheese sauce. Okay, we're going to add in can of Rotels. I'm not going to drain it. 1 can of chili beans. Whoa. There we go. Alright, we're also going to add in some corn. And something I totally forgot about is some sour cream. You're going to need at least about 1/2 cup to 3/4 cup of some sour cream. And then you're just going to give that a really good stir. It looks kind of weird, but it tastes amazing. Stink.
Is that enough?
Yeah.
Nom nom. Nom nom nom. Looks yummy.
What is it?
It's very, very good.
You like creamy tacos?
Mm-hmm. It's really good.
How is it? Messy boy. How is it?
It's good, but it's a little spicy.
Alright, for this dinner, we are going to be making some chicken enchiladas. I have these chicken thighs that have been in my freezer for a little while. Yeah, sell date is May of last year. So they've been in my freezer for a little while. So I'm going to try to use this up. I'm going to take off the skins here, and then I'm going to place them in my crock pot. I'm going to put just a little bit of chicken broth in it as well. And I'm just going to let this slow cook for about, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours or so. Just want to make sure it's all cooked through, and then I'm going to shred it when it's done. And then we will make the chicken enchiladas after it's been slow cooked for a while. For the enchiladas itself, I'm going to need some chicken bouillon or some chicken broth. I have a thing of diced tomatoes, some black beans, some green chilies, some tortillas. I have sour cream, some butter, and then I have some corn back here that I'm going to use. And then I'll need just I don't know, 3 tablespoons of flour as well. But that is how I'm going to make it. Oh, I'm also going to need some cheese. So I'll grab that out of my fridge as well. Alright, so I'm going to show you how I'm going to make this meal. Okay, I decided to go ahead and put my chicken in here with some chicken broth. I'm going to cook this actually on high. I think I decided to do it on high. Just so I can make sure that it's done by the time I'm ready to do my enchiladas. 4 should be good. So here we go. That chicken broth is going to give us some extra flavor for our chicken. So I will check back here in about 4 hours. So I am going to take all of my chicken here and I'm just going to debone it, but it is severely hot. So I'm just going to take it one by one and just kind of shred it, but it is just falling off the bone there, as you can kind of see there. And here I put all the bones in one bowl so that I can put it back in the crock pot and make some more chicken broth. And then I have all of my chicken here. I'm actually not going to use all of that chicken. Probably, I don't know, about 2/3 of the chicken. And then after I put all of the chicken in this bowl, I'm going to add all of my fixings to put into the tortillas. So I'm going to put some taco seasoning. So I have about 2 tablespoons of this taco seasoning that I'm going to put on it. Well, goodness, I guess more like 3 tablespoons. And then I have a can of Rotels, and I don't drain any of the juice. I'm just going to pour it all in there. I have probably about half of that can of corn and then half a can of this black beans. And then I'm just going to go ahead and give it a good stir. I'm going to add in my cheese because I basically almost forgot my cheese here. And then giving that another good stir, and then it is ready to fill. I did want to let you know that this make about 15 tortillas or so. I only make about half of them here because I only want to make about 6 of them at first, and then I'm going to save the rest and make some more later. So it should make between 12 and 15 tortillas, or 12 to 15 enchiladas. To my saucepan, I'm going to go ahead and add in 3 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to let that melt, and then once that's melted, I'm going to go ahead and add in my flour. And I have 3 tablespoons of flour that I'm going to go ahead and mix with it and just kind of stir that through just to make it all well combined. And then we're going to add in our seasonings. I have 1 teaspoon of cumin and then 1 teaspoon of coriander, and I'm just going to give that another really good stir. Once all that's mixed through, I'm going to go ahead and add in my chicken broth. So I have about 1.5 cups of chicken broth that I'm going to go ahead and mix through. And that chicken broth looks a little different just because it's homemade. So I'm going to let that thicken up just a little bit. It only takes about a couple minutes for all of that to thicken up. And then I'm going to add in some sour cream. And so I need about 3/4 of sour cream that I go ahead and add to my pot. I'm going to give that a really good stir just to kind of thicken up that sauce. And then I'm going to add in some cheddar cheese once that's all stirred through properly. And I totally forgot to add in my green chilies. You want to add in a 4-ounce can of green chilies, or if you really like green chilies, you can add in 2 cans of green chilies, which is what my husband prefers. And then it will be ready to add to our enchiladas. So you just want to go ahead and spray your 9x13 pan, and I am going to fill 6 of these enchiladas with my filling. And if you like your enchiladas to be kind of saucy in the middle, you can add some of that sauce to the filling here, and that'll kind of make it a little bit more creamy as well. I am just going to go ahead and fill all these enchiladas, and then I'm going to put the cream that we made on the stove. I'm going to put that over on top, and then I'm going to add some cheddar cheese on top of that, and then you will cook it in the oven. I put mine at about 350 for about 30 to 40 minutes. I just want to make sure my enchiladas are nice and crispy on the very edges there, and then it will be done. Since I forgot about my green chilies until the last minute, I just kind of sprinkled it on top there, but this is what it looks like after it's all done.
delicious.
Delicious.
Did you try it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. What do you think, Bubba Boo?
Oh gosh.
What?
Really good.
Good?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, for this next pantry dinner, this has been in our pantry for forever, and I know it's Tuna Helper, blah, but I am going to try to spruce it up just a little bit. I'm going to put this with some chicken breasts instead of tuna, and then I'm going to put in some vegetables, so we have some vegetable with this dinner here. And then I think I'm actually going to put some green beans on the side. That way we have a lot more vegetables with this. We have our protein, you know, we have our greens. So, so that's a nutritious, for the most part, meal here. And I think I'm going to add a little bit of cheese on top just to kind of spruce it up. My husband is not a fan of Tuna Helper, so I'm not going to add tuna to this, but you definitely can. You can add tuna or rotisserie chicken. I'm just going to use this canned chicken breast here just because I have it in my pantry. I'm really just trying to clear out my pantry here and just trying to use up what I have on hand. So let me get started making this meal. For this meal, I'm just going to cook it up just how the box says. So I put in my water, and then I put in my milk. I think it's 1 1/4 cup of water, and then 2 cups of milk. And then I'm going to go ahead and put in my canned chicken breast, and I'm kind of just going to cut it up just to make it not so big chunks there. And then I'm going to go ahead and put in my Tuna Helper mix, basically just noodles and my pasta sauce. Then I'm going to give that a pretty good stir, just get everything well combined so that it's going to cook nice and evenly. After it's been cooking for about 5 to 10 minutes or so, I'm just going to put in my chopped broccoli. I want to get that broccoli nice and cooked. I don't want it to be hard whatsoever, so I'm going to make sure that it's going to get nice and soft. I'm going to give that a good stir, and then I'm going to actually add in 3 tablespoons of butter, just to kind of give it some more flavor here. And then I'm going to put the lid on. I'm going to let this simmer on a medium heat for about 20-ish minutes. And then I'm going to add in some Parmesan. I probably add in about 1/2 cup of Parmesan. And then I'm going to give that a good stir, get that well combined. And then I'm going to let that thicken up just a little bit. And then I'm going to go ahead and add in my seasonings. I like to add in some pepper and some Italian seasoning. And then I did put some green beans with this. So I had a can of green beans that I put some butter in with it. And then I seasoned it up with some salt and pepper. Nothing fancy there. And then I put in like a pretty hefty, I don't know, maybe a teaspoon of Italian seasoning just to give it a little bit more flavor. I'm going to give that a really good stir, and then I'm going to let this simmer on low for about 5 more minutes, and that is it. Our very delicious chicken helper is ready to eat. Don't lie. Just be normal. Okay. What do you think, Addie? It's pretty good? No. Okay. Do you like it? Did you take a bite?
She didn't. It's still hot.
It's still hot. Take a bite. Take a bite. Alright, today's pantry challenge. I was wanting to get rid of some of these. I think I actually have like 4 of these manwich sandwich ones. I recently got this at the discount store for $1. So I'm going to use up this. I'm going to use up some baked beans in my pantry. So I'm going to pair that with some things I'm also wanting to get rid of in my freezer. I have these like Kaiser rolls. I want to get rid of that. I have these like discount little bread rolls from Walmart. I'm going to use up those because I don't have any hamburger buns. So it's really fine. I'm just going to improvise today. And then we have a pound of ground beef. And then some fries. These are like my husband's favorite type of fries. So we're going to use up that and just going to have some sloppy joes. Something super simple and easy today. Nothing fancy for sure, but we're in a hurry because we have a conference to go to tonight with my husband's school. So we just need something super fast. So this is what we're doing. All right, let's get cooking. To my pan here, I'm going to go ahead and brown up this ground beef. Sometimes when I make sloppy joes, I like to ground it up with some onions just to give it a little bit more flavor, but this time I'm just doing the ground beef, so I'm just going to chop it up, and then I'm going to drain off any excess grease. This one seemed to be a little bit greasy, so I definitely wanted to drain off the excess grease, and then I'm going to bring it back to my pan, and then I am going to add in my sauce here. And then I'm going to give that a really good stir, and then I'm just going to let that simmer on low for about 5 minutes just to make sure that all that sauce got nice and warm and that it's good to put on our hamburger buns. While the meat is cooking on low, I'm going to go ahead and get started on some baked beans. So to my saucepan here, I'm just going to go ahead and add in my big can of baked beans, not green beans, baked beans. And I'm going to add in some barbecue sauce because I like our baked beans to be extra sweet. And I like the tanginess from the barbecue sauce. I don't know, I just prefer barbecued baked beans versus just regular old baked beans. And that's it. I have French fries that were cooking in the oven, and that's it. It was super easy and simple dinner. Bobby, is it yummy? Daddy-o? How's your sloppy joes? Yummy, yummy. Jojo. How's your sloppy joe? How is it?
I'm eating this.
You're eating your fries?
Yeah.
Okay, how is it? All over your shirt already. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you found some inspiration for just picking through your pantry, picking through your freezer, looking at your fridge, kind of just looking at everything you got and trying to make meals out of what you have already, especially if you're in a tight spot and you don't really have any money to be spending money on groceries that week. You just really try to be creative with what you have and get rid of some pantry items. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.